Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So if you stayed to the end of my last video, then you probably remember that I had mentioned that I was really sick, which is why my content hasn't been as consistent lately in terms of uploading frequency wise, but I am feeling a little bit better now. I feel like my voice is still not back 100% yet, but I am on the mend and thankfully I do not feel like I did last week. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you guys how sick I was. I was in so much pain. My head hurt so bad. I went to the doctor and had them test me for COVID and strep throat. This virus, cold, whatever I had, knocked me out. But thankfully, I think I am finally on the mend and I'm ready to get back to filming and flying. At the end of my last video, I had mentioned that the next video, which is this one, would be a life update and Q&A. Can we just take a second though to look at Luna sleeping on the couch with her Frisbee? Well, she's not sleeping anymore, but she's just hanging out, and I think this is her way of telling me she wants to go out. She's already played Frisbee once today, but we'll go out and play again when I'm done filming this video. So I think that by answering the questions that you guys all asked me on Instagram, that will give you a good life update for me as well. Okay, so the first question, how is life? Thank you for asking. Other than being so sick over the past few weeks, life is really good. Eric and I are really happy. I feel like the weather is finally getting warm outside, and whenever the weather is warm and sunny, I am just automatically in such a better mood. And yeah, other than how sick I was over the last few weeks, life is really good. What is one place that you want to visit but haven't? Okay, it is so hard to think of just one place. I can think of so many off the top of my head, but the first few that I thought of was Italy, and then the second place that I thought of was Egypt. That's actually like a really big bucket list destination for Eric and I. That's somewhere that we really want to go to together. Hopefully one day we can make that happen. But what is your funniest flight attendant story? Okay, so I promise I'm getting to the point, but I have to start off by saying this. So I hardly ever drink hard alcohol. The most I'll ever do is like a rum and coke or a rum in the pina colada, since that's my favorite cocktail. And so with that said, when I became a flight attendant, I didn't know the special names of drinks, like names of cocktails that people wanted to order on the plane. The first time in first class that someone ordered a screwdriver, I gave him the funniest look. I looked at him and I was like, what do you mean you want a screwdriver? Like, I was like laughing and joking. He was like, oh, you know, a screwdriver. And I was like, sir, we don't have screwdrivers on this airplane. What makes you think I have a screwdriver I can give you? If you don't know, like I didn't, a screwdriver is a vodka orange juice. And that is a very popular drink that people order on the plane all the time, but I just had no idea. So I just think it's so funny because I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, I don't have a screwdriver, but can I get you something to drink? And then he was like, I want a screwdriver to drink. And then I was like, okay, sir, can you spell it out for me? And then he said vodka orange juice is a screwdriver, and then we both started laughing. It was hilarious. Were you an All-American gymnast? I'm pretty sure. I'm like almost positive that I was an All-American gymnast. I can't remember 100%, like I can't remember my final rankings end of my senior year. And for those of you who didn't know, I was a gymnast for 17 years. I did it from the time I was 4 until I was 21, so I did it all the way through college. I just absolutely loved it, and if you are interested in learning more about my gymnastics career, I do have a video where I talk all about it. Where is somewhere that you wish your airline flew to? I really wish that we flew to South Africa, because Cape Town, South Africa is a really big destination on my bucket list. I've always wanted to go there for some reason. I just think it would be a really cool place to travel to, and I would also love to go on a safari one day. Do you think that a 59-year-old could become a flight attendant? Absolutely. I don't think that age should be a factor in terms of becoming a flight attendant. If you feel fit and able and excited to be one, then I say absolutely go for it. Where is your ideal place to get married? If I were to pick the ideal place for us to get married, it would probably be in Colorado, because that is where Eric and I met. We met at the University of Denver. That's where we both went to school. Eric was a soccer player and I was a gymnast, so we met through the athletic department, and I just think a wedding in the mountains in Colorado would be absolutely beautiful. Colorado is such a special place for Eric and I, so I definitely think that would be a really meaningful and cool place for us to get married. What is my goal for books to read by the end of 2023? So my goal is to read 50 books by the end of this year. And let me check my Goodreads account right now to see where I am at, which by the way, I will link my Goodreads account below. This is where I write book reviews. And if you are interested in seeing book content from me, I do have a second channel, which is called Julia Jean, where it's more of a lifestyle channel. And I also talk a lot about books there too. I have currently read 23 books, and it is only April 21st that I am filming this video right now. So I definitely think I'm gonna hit my goal by the end of the year. Oh, hey, Luna. Are you coming to say hello to everybody? Oh yeah. Luna, that is a great shot of you, right in front of the camera, right in front of me. You are so silly, Luna. What are you doing? Hi. Hello. Oh my goodness. Is this your way of telling me that you need to go out? Okay, we're gonna take a little break and we're gonna take Luna out and then I'll get back to answering more questions. Okay, get your toy. Let's go. So I am back inside now from playing with Luna. I'm sorry if you can hear her panting in the background. But the next question, funny enough, was what is my favorite hobby with Luna? Obviously, we love to play Frisbee with her. I love to go hiking with Luna the few times that we have gotten to go hiking with her. And I love to watch her swim in lakes too. Another book question, which is awesome. You guys know how much I love reading. How do I choose what books to read? So I'm very much a mood reader. And what I mean by that is, how am I feeling? Am I feeling like a thriller? Am I feeling like I want to read a mystery? Am I feeling like I want to read a fantasy? Am I feeling like I want to read a romance? It also depends on the time of year. I guess I read books for the type of mood that I'm in or the type of mood that I want to be in. So for example, when I was really sick, I was obviously just feeling really down. And so I read two really sad books by Kathleen Glasgow. I read You'd Be Home by Now, and I also read Girl in Pieces, which I did talk about those books in my book channel. And oh my gosh, they were phenomenal. But right now I am reading this book, Once Upon a Broken Heart. It's a fantasy. After reading those really sad books, I was in the mood to read just a lighthearted, cute fantasy romance, and that's exactly what this is. Also, books that typically go viral on TikTok or YouTube are viral for a reason. Most of the time they're pretty good. So I look at the books that go viral and I research them and I just see if I would be interested in reading them, wanting to know what all of the hype is about. Also, the covers of books matter a lot to me, and I know that is so bad. You're never supposed to judge a book by its cover. But I mean, just like look at how beautiful this cover is and the spine. Like, how could I not want to read this book? What is the best and worst thing about being a flight attendant? So I think two of the best things about being a flight attendant are obviously getting to travel and see the world. I mean, I feel like that's a very typical but also truthful answer. I love that aspect of being a flight attendant. I have been to so many different places around the world that I genuinely would not have been able to see if it weren't for my job, and I'm very grateful for that. And then I think the next best thing about my job is my coworkers. Flight attendants are some of the most amazing, unique, and awesome work group. We are from all different places around the world, different cultures, different lifestyles, and I just think that is really unique to have in a workforce. The worst things about my job are the early mornings. I don't think anybody likes waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning sometimes for work, and that's just the nature of it. Like, sometimes you just have to wake up in the middle of the night to work those really early morning flights. You are such an inspiration. Thank you. That is so sweet. Do you have any plans for this upcoming summer, like a cruise or a holiday? So we do have some plans for the summer. No cruises booked yet, although I think that would be a lot of fun. Eric and I might go to the Jersey Shore for the 4th of July and and his birthday. His family has a family vacation home. They've had it, I want to say, for a few generations down there, and so that's really fun. We might go do that. And then for my birthday, we are actually going to the Grand Canyon and Flagstaff, Arizona area with my parents, and we're going to try to bring all the dogs, and it's just going to be an awesome time. So those are probably the two trips that we have planned for this summer, and then whatever else we do. Have you ever gotten sick while working a flight? No, thank goodness I have never gotten super sick while working a flight. If I wasn't flying, what would I be doing instead? This is an interesting question because I feel like there's so many different things that I have wanted to do with my life and that I do want to do with my life. And I'm really struggling right now, kind of narrowing that down and thinking like, okay, this is my path and this is what I want to do. So for example, when I was getting ready to graduate college, actually this was before I met Eric, so it was like my junior year of college, I was thinking like, what do I want to do after graduation? And a big part of me wanted to just move to Hawaii or somewhere tropical, learn how to surf, and just be a beach bum and like work at a smoothie shop or like a clothing store or something and just live my life. Like I just didn't want to go to school anymore. I just wanted to live somewhere beautiful. So that was like something that I wanted to do. And then another part of me also wanted to work as a writer for National Geographic and just go totally off the grid and, you know, do special assignments and stuff like that, which I still think would be very cool, but not really conducive to the life that I want now. Like I don't really want to be gone on, you know, month-long writing assignments. Like that does not sound fun for me anymore. And then somewhere along the way, obviously I found my way into becoming a flight attendant. And then a year after flying, I started my YouTube channel. Oh, even before that, so I went to school for journalism. So I had originally wanted to be a news anchor. I always thought that that lifestyle would be really cool and just being on camera and doing all of that. So I think that is a direction that I could have taken my life in. I have different ideas of the direction that I could see my life going in the future, and I just kind of want to see how it all plays out. And that's a really interesting question because the one after that is, how do I feel about the end of my 20s and going into my 30s? So I turned 28 this summer, so I still have a few more years of my 20s, but I am really proud of myself for how I have handled my 20s. I have traveled, I have gained a lot of independence. Throughout our 20s, Eric and I obviously started our relationship, and it has been very healthy, happy, loving, and we have grown a lot as a couple. So I feel like I've accomplished a lot and I've done a lot and I've been to a lot of places in my 20s. And to be honest, I'm just really excited for the next chapter in my life of my 30s to see what happens. I guess to get back to that first question, like if I wasn't flying, what would I be doing now? And I could honestly see myself like working at a bookshop. I could see myself growing my Julia Jean channel, always being on social media though. I can't tell you that, like whether it's on Jetting Julia or my Julia Jean channel, like you guys are stuck with me. I will always be making some sort of videos and content to put on YouTube. I'm really passionate about both of my channels. I really see myself continuing that. Have I ever been to Australia or New Zealand? No, I have not been to either, but they are definitely places that I would love to visit one day. Have I ever been to any Asian countries? Yes, so I have been to Japan and I loved it there. I really, really, really want to go back to Japan one day. I went there, I think it was in 2018 or 2019. It was before I had my YouTube channel and I got it as a flight attendant trip, so I was only there for a day, but my goodness was it incredible, and I would love to go back and spend more time there. What is your favorite peanut butter combo? Okay, if you have watched like my last video, I talked about putting peanut butter in my oatmeal, and I love peanut butter, but I would say that my favorite peanut butter combo is just a plain PB&J. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And then part two of that question was, have I ever tried Nerdy Nuts? And no, I have not. I've never even heard of that. So I need to do some research there. How many airlines did I apply to before I was given a job offer? So I applied to 12 different airlines. It is a very competitive industry, and I was given job offers by 2. And the first airline that I was given a job offer for was Horizon Air, and that is Alaska Airlines Regional. So I did work for them for about 5 or 6 months, and I was based in Seattle, Washington, and I worked for them before I was given my job offer with my current airline. Would I ever consider going back into the gymnastics world and coaching? That answer is a big fat no. So to be honest, I obviously loved gymnastics so much growing up and doing it in college, but I have never been passionate about coaching. I have never enjoyed it. Even the times where I coached summer camp, I pretty much just did it because everybody else on my team was doing it, and also they gave us a small paycheck for doing that. So I was like, oh, okay, it's like a little summer job, like I'll coach the summer camps. But it just wasn't something that I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I did coach a little bit after college just because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. And I think by doing that, I realized like really how much I don't want to be a coach. I don't think it would be fair to the kids for me to be a coach, because gymnastics is a really expensive sport. And if I'm sending my kids off to like gymnastics practice and their coach is not passionate about it and they're not excited to be there, I wouldn't want that for my kids. Like that would make me mad. So I'm not gonna go do that. As much as I love gymnastics, I have just never wanted to be a coach. Okay, this is a fun question. Favorite cake. So I'm not really a big cake girl. I really like ice cream a lot more. Ice cream's my favorite dessert, but I do enjoy cake, but it's not my favorite. But if I had to choose my favorite flavor of cake, it would probably be the Oreo ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. Oh my gosh, that cake is so good. Also strawberry shortcake, I think is really good. So those would be my 2 favorites. All right, you guys, so I think I'm going to leave it at that, but thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe because I would love to see you again in future videos. I hope that you all are having a fabulous day and I will see you next time. Bye.